Yanofsky of Fightful here with AJ McKee, who is going to be competing against Patricio Pitbull for the Bellator Featherweight Championship for the Bellator Featherweight Grand Prix. AJ, it's been a whole year since we've seen you, since the whole Bellator summer kickoff. How are you feeling, especially post-surgery?
Man, I completely forgot about surgery. I'm doing great, man. Just continue to perfect my craft, get better and better inside and outside of the gym. You know, that's one thing my dad pushes me for, you know what I mean? Don't just be great in the gym, be great outside of the gym. So that's a big part, and I'm ready, man. You know, I woke up this morning, went and ran 3 miles, and just, my father's always putting me, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So we just stay ready, you know?
Now, with the whole year of the pandemic and moving of the fights, was there any issues with you when it came to preparing for these fights and knowing it's going to be later than usual?
I don't think so. So originally Cardwell and I were scheduled to fight June. I would say I was probably about like 70-80%, about 75-80% ready then. But like I said, it's $1 million and my world title's on the line. So at the end of the day, I was going to fight regardless. But having those extra 3-4 months to actually just solidify being 100% prepared and ready was phenomenal. And there's just no worry, no fear, no concern, you know what I mean? Just go in there and do what you do, and that's put on a great show.
Now, speaking of family, as you said before, your father is a fighter. Is there any pressure on you to fulfill the dream of the family in a sense of getting that title from going from start to finish in the tournament?
I wouldn't say it's pressure. Just knowing my destiny, knowing my calling, my father being 8 years undefeated and so forth, and being the great fighter that he was and his career going the way it was, I felt continuing the legacy, but not just continuing it, but making sure the last name McKee gets the recognition it deserved in the sport, you know? My dad wanted to fight anybody and everybody, from Royce Gracie. I've watched him train Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, like anybody you can think of I've seen in my gym. And I watched my dad at 55 pounds pick these guys up and slam them. I'm like, Dad, why aren't you a superstar like them? You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of a personal thing that's fueled me to like make sure that the last name McKee is respected in this sport. And to anyone that's not a casual, everyone throws around the casual, you know what I mean? To anyone that doesn't just know mixed martial arts, they don't know who I am. And I feel once they do, that's what I've worked for. That's what I'm working for, to be the champ, to be just the people's champ, and to just be known, you know what I mean? Make sure the last name McKee gets the recognition it deserves in this sport, because back in the day, they were fighting in gis. My dad was wearing wrestling shoes with blonde hair and blonde shorts. You know what I mean? So, it's fun. I can't wait to just continue the legacy, the tradition, and be a champion like my father. You know, that's always been my dream, was to be a champion, So, to be able to achieve 2 of my goals, get a world champion and $1 million check at the same time, man, Pitbull is gonna have to fight for his life when we get in that cage.
Now, do you think Pitbull respects you? Do you think he respects your game and what you can bring to the table?
I think that's the fearful part for him, is because he doesn't know what AJ he's going to get. I believe he respects me. At first, he thought I was that young, mouthy kid, just, oh, he wants the belt, he's all, you know what I mean? And then he started to see the business side of me, and I started dressing properly, and I'm like, hey, I don't have any problems with him, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he knows I'm coming for his neck, so there's no hard feelings. He's a great champ. He's held that belt long enough, but he knows that the new era is here, and this new wave, man, it's a wave. It'll take you for a ride.
Now, say you beat him in the finals, you'd be a champion. He'd still be a champion at lightweight, if I'm not mistaken. Would you be going for that belt as well?
Fucking right. That's the funny thing. So before McGregor did what he did, becoming a champ, I think we've got a couple interviews way back when I said I was going to be a champ, you know? So these are dreams and accomplishments, accolades that I want personally for myself. So for sure, after I get the 145-pound title, I'm not stopping. I need that 55-pound title. I guess we'll sit down, talk, and see how things play out. But yeah, I'm gun-ho for it. I'm taking all your belts, all your possessions.
And you defend both titles?
We'll see. We got to sit down and see. Honestly, at that point, I don't feel there's anything left with Bellator before me at the 145-pound division. So I honestly would like to go test my skills, maybe unify the belts, and hey, Uncle Dana, I'll put that ticket plus another ticket, and let's do something, you know what I mean? And see the best of the best. And I guarantee you, you might not want to do that because, I don't know, McKee's not to be messed with in that cage. But I'd love to test myself with some of the best fighters, whether it's 1FC, PFL, UFC. Like, I just want to fight the best of the best. And at the moment, I feel Patricio Pitbull is one of the best 145-pounders in the world. But he's not better than me. So once I get that achievement, that accolade under my belt, it'll open up a lot of doors for me. And yeah, like I said, man, just like boxing, let's unify them belts and see who the best of the best is.
Now, speaking of boxing, we have the Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul fight. We have Jake Paul facing Tyron Woodley. What are your thoughts about these celebrity fights or these exhibition bouts, especially in today's culture of combat sports?
It's awesome because at the end of the day, mixed martial arts is not like boxing. Boxing is a sport, certified, you know what I mean? There's certain things on the back end for fighters that take care of boxers. Mixed martial arts is going to eventually and continue to grow and come into that. I feel unifying the belts would also help with that. It brings everybody together as one, in a sense. So I'm excited, man. I think just being able to do that and be the first person to do that, obviously being undefeated helps me be able to say, hey, this is what we need to do, because who else is left? What's left? You know what I mean? So I think it's going to work out, especially with the entertainment world, you know? I'm not a well-known fighter to the average person. I don't have a YouTube following like Jake or Logan Paul. But that's their realm of work, and it's brought them the opportunity to bring their money of flow into the boxing world. And Floyd's all about the money, of course, so it goes hand in hand. But as far as that fight, I mean, that's like asking me what'll happen if I fight a NASCAR racer. You know what I mean? Like, we know what's gonna happen. It's the best of the best versus, no disrespect, but a YouTuber. You know what I mean? So anyone has a puncher's chance, but at the end of the day, this man's been doing this his entire life, you know what I mean? And that grab your hat trick, that lit another fire under Floyd. So I'm eager to see what happens and how things play out. I think we're gonna see a finish from Floyd, though, definitely.
And if you were ever to decide, if you had the opportunity to fight someone, whether
Floyd
it's a
Mayweather
YouTube,
all the day.
you fight Floyd?
His O versus my O. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to be like best of the best, like, oh, I want to fight you because you're the best and I want to be better than you. You're the best at your sport, I'm the best at my sport. I'd like to test myself in your sport because your sport is part of my sport. Being able to throw your hands is a big part in mixed martial arts. Excuse me. So I would love to go out there and test my skill with Floyd. On top of, I feel like it would bring me the recognition that I need, along with, obviously, that money, dog. You know what I mean? The more following, the more money you got. So it's all about the views, and I feel that would kind of really set me over the edge of, okay, he's the face of MMA now, not just Bellator, but mixed martial arts. When you think of boxing, you think of what? Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, a couple other goats, you know what I mean? But those are the people that made an impact on the sport just so broadly that I think no one's really done that in mixed martial arts yet with a undefeated record. So that's always been my key and my goal, be the Floyd Mayweather MMA.
Well, thank you very much, AJ, and good luck.
Anytime, thank you for having me.